All right. Well, welcome back now to Skeptical Eye for the Paranormal Guys and Jesse.
He's still here in spirit, at least.
Yes. Here in spirit. And today we're going to be talking about the red dot phenomenon.
I thought we were talking about flat Earth.
No. Do you now remember? I was like,
He's got to do more prep
Earth,
on flat Earth.
Yeah, dude, I have to do more research.
Well, let's do flat Earth.
We're doing red dot society or whatever.
Yep. The red dot grid pattern. So okay, that's basically
that red dot motherfucker got me banned from Xbox.
He's talking about Chris. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. Red dot, dude. One of these days we should have Chris on because I really want to do that with him. But I'm like, oh my goodness, I've had this one for fucking 3 months.
Welcome back to Skeptical Eye for the Paranormal Guy. We're all here.
Your host here, Patricia.
And he has a wonderful tale about a phenomenon often related to either ghosts or aliens, depending on who you talk to. Take it away, Pat.
All right. So as I said, red dot, red grid phenomenon. So as it is described, it is an unknown symptom of an unknown cause where small, very circular red dots appear as if etched onto the skin. Now, this is something that a lot of people actually, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but a decent amount of people, including a friend of the show's, Quiksneak, has had this experience apparently.
Not Crick.
I said Quiksneak, didn't I?
You said Crick.
I heard quick, but yeah.
I heard quick.
Anyway. Okay, so but Quiksneak had this phenomenon happen to him, if I'm not correct or not mistaken, right, Michael?
Yeah.
You have to be the one to speak for him, at least at this point. But so this is something that people have a lot of different speculation over, is like what could it be? And there's a couple of different explanations. This occurrence is speculated to be caused by extraterrestrial visitation, which is the hot button issue, because there's been a lot of circulation of photos of people like having this and like not remembering things. And turns out that I did a little digging personally, and the only idea that I have that kind of could be like a real world possibility was where was that? Oh my God, where did it go? I'm so sorry, everybody.
All right, let's talk about the nuclear war in Ukraine.
Yeah, why not? Might as well. I'll just stitch this all together and make it coherent. So y'all just chat it up. I'm gonna figure out where I'm at.
So what do you guys think about that? Patrick? Austin?
Jesse, unraise your hand real quick for me so I can move the videos, please.
God damn it.
Perfect. Thank you. I feel like there'd be less issue in Ukraine if Putin were suffering from the red dot issue.
There might be more issue, man, if you think about it.
More issue?
Yeah.
Why?
Because then he's working with the aliens, man. Right?
Then he's being harangued by the aliens.
Hey, Pat, Michael, put your fucking camera on.
It is on.
Yeah, he just sinks into the background.
He just refuses to turn a light on because he's a nocturnal being.
No, I'm a brown bear. See?
Okay, well, I figured it out. Anyway.
Well, I thought we were about to have a good conversation about that.
Okay, Jesse, what significant points do you have to add to the war?
Well,
tell us.
It's bad, okay?
All right, Pat. What about red dot?
I'm just gonna start kind of over, and then we'll get into it now that we're on the track. Okay. Red
now
dot phenomenon.
Now the train's left the station.
Lots of different explanations that kind of vary. Now, most of the time, people only wake up with these oblivious to any nighttime interactions or anything.
They don't remember getting ghostly acupuncture.
No. So depending on region, there is something called the pus caterpillar, and it actually can give like a sting and a rash that kind of looks similar, but it's a little bit more blotchy.
Are they in Colorado?
Do you have a photo of the pus caterpillar at hand?
Yes, I do.
But Pat, is that like the area that's gotten bitten?
It's like, what do you mean? Like
it bites you and it affects that one area, or is it like a rash?
It's more of a rash. So I'll show you the
pus caterpillar. Well, that looks kind of cute.
Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah, but does
Yeah.
it live in Colorado? So how can you explain?
No. Well, that's the
Quiksneak.
thing.
The
It's only in
southern
a very
flannel moth is what it turns into.
Yeah.
That's honestly cute as hell. Look at that. That's like fuzzy and friendly.
Now I'll show you the rash.
Michael, get that damn bear off my fucking computer.
I am a bear.
All
How do I
right.
share my screen again?
Oh, that doesn't look friendly at all.
Yeah, Austin, how about this? Anytime you'll be the guy who pulls up all the stuff, okay?
Okay, hold on.
So
Go
when I
back to
say a
Austin's
thing,
screen.
you just type it in. Or you know.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
Jamie.
whoa. What? Whoops.
Oh, he's having issues too.
No, I had that menu in the wrong spot. I was trying to click on this picture. Look at that.
Interesting. But that looks more like it's like
But
three
his was way
dimensional.
different than that.
Yeah, well that's the thing is that
His was more
because
It
There-
looks like somebody stepped on you with a work boot.
his was
So
more
this-
symmetric.
yeah, and there's a lot more of it because it's only like ever really like a couple of dots. It's never supposedly like this type of thing. This is just one of those rational explanations that like you could technically
Oh.
have, except that it is based on the
Okay.
region. I'm pretty sure, you know, like you probably don't have pus caterpillars all over the place. I don't know where the flannel moth actually like flies around at, but
Type in the red
Red-
grid phenomenon or whatever, so you can see.
Oh, Texas. That looks like the red states.
and it skips over New Mexico and ends up in Arizona.
Wait, was that real?
I'm checking. Southern flannel moth.
Range, probably. Yeah.
I spell good. I type
This
good.
damn chipmunk is pissing me off.
It's a bear. It's a brown bear.
But you couldn't even figure out your settings, and he figured out how to turn himself into a bear. So I don't know if you
I
can say
tried.
much.
You guys saw. I shared
okay,
my
so
screen. Gave
the
you
southern
people on my
US.
computer. You still couldn't figure it out.
So yeah, that's a very small area and obviously not where Quiksneak was up in Colorado, I'm assuming is where he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not out of the range of possibility, but also it's not, wildly
Well, yeah,
likely.
and also he didn't have any like that whole thing is like
Look at that.
associated
It's
also with
like-
like, painful. It's like not
Half of a
fun.
furry pear.
He would notice for sure.
yeah, you would be
Puss
like,
moth.
fuck off.
Austin,
yeah,
look
so-
up the red grid
Yeah.
phenomenon or whatever,
The red grid phenomena. All right,
Yep.
give me a sec here.
so that you can see in comparison what it looked, because it looks
there's-
exactly like this essentially. And then pictures.
Yeah, image it.
Yeah.
So like right
So
here.
that
one
second
on-
photo
and
and
the-
the first
yep,
one, it
second
was
one.
very
Yeah,
similar.
that's
to
exactly
that.
what it was.
Aliens.
And they say that it sometimes it comes and it goes. And other than like the symptoms that they, you see on the skin, there's no explanation for it.
Why is this on 2kgamer.com?
It's where you get all the good info.
Aliens.
Don't worry about it, says Massive Flesh on Tumblr.
Okay, but yeah, so you've got, different people experiencing different things, but it always ends up in, it's not a painful thing. It's, usually in this like very symmetrical circles, unlike that puss caterpillar with the it's kind of more blotchy.
It's 2 S's. Yeah, we found that out.
Yep.
Puss caterpillar.
I did
You're
think it was the
just a
puss
puss
caterpillar at first, but
caterpillar.
so why
Whoa,
did the
man,
people
relax.
other than this like kind of small phenomenon, where did people kind of get this idea? Because like a lot of people talk about the red dot or grid phenomenon and they like know about it, but there's not a lot of like where did it really come from? And I think I found the answer to that because there was a
I
bunch
think
of
I found the
pictures
answer to
remember.
that too.
Oh,
It's
you
in your
did? Oh,
background behind the
Oh.
alien.
Oh yeah, the red. There
It's
is the red dots.
suckers. It's an octopi.
Nope, it's
Yeah.
these things. But actually, that is a cool thing that was in
The
artwork
rare
that I was like,
Colorado
oh, shit, the red
octopus.
dots. I don't know if that was just a pattern or whatever. When I first heard about the red grid phenomenon, I remember seeing a photo associated
You already
with
know
it.
though.
And here's the thing. I think that this is where it started because so we're going to go talk first about Austin, could you look up this Falcon Lake incident
Fucking like
and then go to images? Yeah,
mm,
that dude right there. The one on
Nice.
that one right there. So that is the first photo that I ever remember seeing and
Oh.
being associated with the
I'm familiar with this. That
Yeah.
guy suffered from radiation, right?
yeah. So
and obesity.
No, that guy's
I don't
actually
think he
pretty
did.
fucking fit, I'm pretty sure, because all right, so
How fit is he, Pat?
well, I'll tell you. So in the sprawling land of Manitoba,
Canada.
Stefan Michalak, I don't know his actual name, Stefan Michalak was out doing some prospecting as he was an amateur geologist. An industrial mechanic, he lived in Winnipeg with his family about 2 hours away by car. He had planned a long weekend to go searching for precious metals in the area. The day in question was May 20th, 1967. During this time out at the lake, Michalek had said that he was first alerted to something strange when he heard a flock of geese making a commotion on the water. So he's out on this lake, basically prospecting, doing like, I guess he was an amateur prospector.
Get the fuck out of here, sicko.
Yeah, he was a real sicko.
So he hears this commotion out on the lake while he's doing this prospecting on May 20th, 1967. When he looked up, he observed two cigar-shaped crafts that glowed a reddish color. Don't know what they were really doing, but it's apparently the crafts then split off after a moment, one leaving the scene while the other craft landed on a nearby rock. So later he apparently observes two UFOs come down. One takes off. Apparently they're cigar shaped, and then another lands on a flat rock like nearby him. As the craft
Amateur
landed,
geologist, he'd have told you what kind of rock it was otherwise.
It was igneous, Austin.
so as the craft landed,
You were
it
on your
appeared
phone up
to-
until 2 seconds ago. Fuck off.
the fuck is that? What was you just like shaking your
You
fist?
just waved your fancy water at me.
Yeah, I fucking did.
As the craft landed, it appeared to morph shape from a cigar shape to a saucer shape. So it's glowing red though, and it like lands, and apparently like as it does that, it morphs into more of a saucer type shape. So Stefan did not immediately approach. In fact, he actually sketched it out for like 30 minutes trying to see.
I
what
thought
was
you were
going
going to say
on.
skedaddled. It's like, hell yeah. Good
So
verbiage.
he got some meat missiles on him.
Basically, he was just watching it for like half an hour, and like during this time, he observed many details about the craft. It was roughly 34 by 15 foot, without any rivets or seams, and Michalek could not distinguish any insignias on the craft. He claimed that he first thought the craft was a military experimental vehicle. So this is 1967. I don't know much about him that I haven't read up on it since I literally like put it together, which was a while ago now. So we don't know much about him until I tell you, and then I'll find
Okay.
out myself.
Michael, I'm going to need you to do me a favor real quick. All right.
What's up?
I need you to stand up and walk 4 feet to a light switch nearby you and flip it into an upwards position.
I think I have a lantern around here.
That'll work
Lantern.
too. That'll be in
That's-
theme.
That would be, yeah, dude, like it's scary tales around. Okay. Whenever I see your fucking face though as a bear. It
You
is
like
just
this,
too
huh?
funny.
Pat, don't say anything too important. I'm grabbing more beer.
Wait, are you done with the story, Pat, or are you going to keep going? What's
I'm
what's
gonna keep
happening?
going.
So this guy has radiation.
Well, I mean, that we'll get to that point, but like as of right now,
actually, hey, he could actually get that because he works for Ball Arena, or not Ball Arena, Ball Space, as security.
He wasn't working there at that time. That's more recent. When
Oh,
he
what could he
happened-
conceptually get?
Radiation.
Oh,
Yeah, he
You
wasn't
talking
working at
about
Ball at that
Quiksneak?
time.
Do you think they just gave him radiation to figure out if he could take it?
I don't think that's what happened.
find out if he can handle it. Put a little radiation in him.
I mean, sometimes that would be a good hit, like weed out the week.
And I mean, he got
Okay.
a job because he.
Wow.
Look, even his bear is skeptical at that statement.
And I'm a brown bear.
Hey, I don't know.
Where's that lantern, bud?
What do you mean it's on?
Michael.
You know how shocked I am? Look. Wow.
Dude, quit sticking
I
your fucking
know.
tongue out, you
Dude,
goddamn.
Wow,
freak.
that's
That's
hilarious.
part of the bear.
You can
That's
actually
just
see
part
that.
of his anatomy.
How do you get the bear? You're on your phone, aren't you?
Oh, I'm not gonna tell you
Uh,
because this is gonna be another.
He's on his
40
phone.
minutes
He's on his phone.
I do miss Michael, dude. Oh my god, he's fucking funny.
Oh, do you miss him?
Yes, I do.
I
I
miss
miss
when he
y'all.
used to be able to walk. He could turn on his lights then.
What is with this light thing?
Dude, show your own
He's
form.
This is my final form.
No, not your final form. We want that basic bitch one we know.
anyway,
Oh.
so he thought it was a fucking military spacecraft. And finally, after about 30 minutes, he began to approach the saucer, which had now become the color of basically hot stainless steel.
So it's
So it's a
orange.
hot
Glowing
stainless
orange?
steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I
Here,
don't know. That's just
give
how
me a
it's
moment.
described. Literally, that is the quotations. And a heavy scent of sulfur accompanied by warm air radiated from the ship. Along with this, he could hear mechanical hissing and motor sounds. So he gets close to this thing, and apparently it sounds like it's like acting up.
So what was it though?
What it appeared to be, it's just like a cigar-shaped craft apparently landed and turned into a saucer.
Hot
glowing red
stainless
hot.
steel.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it's that color.
Was it a hot
Lands
water
on a
heater?
freaking rock.
The
I
water
mean, it
heater
said
for
that
the
it was
house?
like, no, definitely not. Because he's at a lake
Ugh.
that is a ways up there. There's a ways away. Yeah, so finally, after 30 minutes, blah, 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 blah. Heavy scent of sulfur and warm air radiating from the ship. Along with this, he could hear mechanical and hissing and motor sounds. He saw that on one side of the craft had an open door, and he could hear two distinct voices, one higher pitched than the other. So, now he's hearing people talk.
Man, the ship's pretty hot. Yes, it is.
Michael, fucking stop that.
Stop what?
Open it.
You think that's distracting, but I keep looking at you, and then it's like, oh man, you got to get that achievement, bro.
So he saw that on the side of the craft there was an open door, and he heard the people talking. At first, he tried communicating in English. So apparently, I think that he's what is he? Yeah, he's a Polish
At
immigrant.
first,
So
he started
at first he tried
communicating in
communicating in
English?
because he knows
Like what
he
the
knows
fuck else
multiple
would he
languages.
communicated?
Well, because
Maybe his native
so
tongue?
he can't.
He could be French.
He can't
It's
make-
Canada, right?
Yeah, it is Canada, but we'll get to it. But he's an immigrant from Poland.
Da Poland, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, bottom line, he starts talking to them in English, thinking that the pilots were experiencing a technical malfunction. As he's shouting, basically he heard all the voices kind of like shut up. So being a Polish immigrant, he tried speaking in Polish, Russian, and then German. Despite getting no response, he put on his handy dandy welding goggles and headed towards the opening of the ship. From within, he said he saw the lights and panels flashing various colors. So he was going up there to basically, I think that he was like a mechanic of some kind. So he was going to go like help them out. Anyway, so from within, he said he saw lights and panels flashing various colors. He did not see any individuals inside. Stefan reported that he decided to touch the outside of the craft, which allegedly began to burn the tips of his finger. Just then, the opening of the craft sealed, and with a 3-section door, the UFO then rotated counterclockwise, revealing a panel with grid-like holes on it.
Is it
An
still
unknown
landed
gas
when it
was vented
rotates?
out. No, it lifts up.
It's
a little
hovering
bit,
or something?
turns-
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so it rotated counterclockwise, revealing the panel like grid with holes, and an unknown gas vented out, which set Mechlek's clothes ablaze. He was then hit directly in the chest with the heated gas, and as he tore off the like he was tearing off these clothes, the craft took off. So then, obviously, you've seen the that picture. That's allegedly what happened, and apparently, those bruises ended up actually like raising up, and becoming like, boils at one point, and not just like surface burns. Now, this brings us to my theory. The red grit dot pattern is a case of the illusionary truth effect. It is an effect when you see or hear an idea, the more it becomes like shared or repeated, and more likely that everyone takes it on as fact. So I feel like enough of the people who were talking about, like, I don't doubt that this like phenomenon like has occurred to people. I just don't know if you could be like, it's an alien thing, because I feel like even though it's associated with the thing that's associated with, I feel like is this Falcon Lake incident, which seems to be like an actual, like not like an abduction thing, but like a horrendous accident. And honestly, Mechlek, his like final statement basically is the fact that he never thought that it was an alien craft that he saw during this incident. He always like remained thinking that it was like some sort of like like Canadians made craft basically, or experimental aircraft. So yeah, but I believe enough of these people saw this image that that phenomenon of the Falcon Lake incident, they're like, we're gonna associate that with aliens. Just overall, I think that it definitely like, because sound of it and by the look of all the pictures that I've seen, other than like a puss caterpillar, it looks like any strange type of rash, right? Maybe it sticks around for a little bit, maybe it goes away, maybe it comes back, like who knows what's causing it, but it's probably not like an alien thing. And that's because I think that this is what everybody was thinking of, what you see here on Austin's screen.
Yeah, that initial this.
He also his gloves were burned during that because he touched the outside of the craft before that even happened.
Didn't he
So-
develop like some sort of like cancer or like leukemia or something?
Yeah, probably. I have not done
Like shortly after.
Yeah, because what was I doing? Sorry. Let's see. I'm going to continue here. Where both have red dot grid patterns, the case of Stefan Mechlek is much different than the ones experienced by other people. One, the cause was a UFO that he had actually seen and therefore positively identifies the craft as such.
See, that's pretty interesting. It's on his shirt too.
Yeah, and it burned through. That's the actual. So they actually have like the gloves and I think the shirt were actually like recovered afterwards.
This article is on a CBC, which I believe is Canadian Broadcasting.
Yeah, that is
Or
what that is.
Manitoba.
Actually, I have all the lists of the things that I found. That's one of the articles that I was reading.
That looks like he was real close to whatever it was, though.
I think he was because he like was able to
because he
touch
like
it.
he was touching it and then it like lifts up, hovers, and like basically blasts off right from there.
I thought it
essentially.
hit him with a beam.
Yeah, apparently it's
They're saying the
this
gases hit him.
vent thing.
Yeah,
From this like vented thing.
When did this
Yeah,
happen?
so-
The 1950s, 1940s, 1960s?
67, so late 60s. Yeah, so with that being said, the red grid pattern seems to be a kind of a benign thing, unlikely to be caused by abduction or visitation. Whereas I think it's that illusionary truth effect where people are like, you see this, like this is where I remember seeing and like learning about this incident. So yeah, the Falcon Lake incident is apparently touted as the best documented use case of Canada.
See, what's weird is that at least in the scenario with Chris is that I think it happened twice, but he couldn't like remember anything. Like my first question was like, oh, did you sit in a chair weirdly? Did you get a rash from a chair? Did you was your bed like uncomfortable that night? Did you get some sort of massage? And like
Yeah.
as far as I remember, he didn't remember anything, right? And like he shares the house with his now wife and his two
Mhm.
kids, right? And like they didn't seem to have anything on them. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I had a lot of questions that I obviously grilled him about, but like
Yeah.
he didn't seem to have like any weird dreams, anything like that. Like
Did he get a new shirt or new sheets or any sort of new clothing?
I asked the sheet question. I didn't ask
Yeah.
about the new shirt, but he was
Because
like, no,
my concept is like it looks very regular, So
Yeah.
I've always thought maybe some chemical that's commonplace in post-processing but not final shipment processing for clothing or sheets or something that gets left over.
And what's weird is that like it's so perfect, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
the pattern is what's creepy about it.
And that's why it
it-
makes me think it was some chemical like applied by a machine to a textile and then
Right.
it ends up sitting
you
too
mean
long
like
in the
it's
same
like
spot
it's
on your body.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But I mean, at the same time, like, wouldn't you see more like, I feel like it would be more
Yeah, on
Even
his
if it's a
legs.
pattern, like, yeah, because he's moving
See,
it
then my
around.
guess is that it's easily soluble, whatever it is. So the moment it starts to get hot, it comes out of like the shirt and it's on your skin. It
but
might be
also-
easy to
but
absorb
then-
topically, but not very like long term if it's cool or
But then
hot.
his,
I mean,
his partner that he shared a bed with, right? Like if it was sheet, like I guess if it was clothes, sure, right? But like, I don't know, and it's
That's his
weird that
wife.
it hit on the back, like it was on his back, right? And it seemed, if I remember correctly, it was like that lower mid back where I don't know. It just seems like somebody else noticed it.
Well, and it's also, you think about it, like, don't you think if it was like some sort of chemical that it would like burn a little bit?
Yeah,
He's
he would
not
have like an itch
experiencing-
or some sort of feeling towards it, and
I
I
used to think that, and
Even
then I
if it was
worked
a
around a
burn,
lot
it
of
would still-
chemicals for a while,
yeah.
and now it's like you don't really notice until you're like, "Why is my whole arm red?" You're like,
Like even if it was like if it was a burn from heat, that would still hurt. And why didn't it blister up then? Chemical burn would blister. Burn
No,
would
no,
blister.
not all of them blister. It can literally be like a surface level irritation. When I get heptane on me for a whole day, it just turned red. And then it'd be like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
don't like
I
those
mean-
carcinogens.
I mean, that is possible. I mean, I don't know. But at the same time, I don't know. It just seems like it, and it's like that nobody would ever have like a bad reaction from that. I'm just thinking like, because there's so many skin types, like, you know, that
I just feel like
if
it-
it,
How many skin types are there,
somebody-
Patrick?
I guess, I mean, like sensitivity is worth the skin. Like if there's people who like, you know, because like my girlfriend and I, we got like a Oculus Quest, and like just the like, well, whatever the thing that
Yes.
goes around it, basically the face
the
part,
strap, the goggles
it's
slash
like
the band.
it's
The
like
padding.
the band that goes,
Oh,
the
the
padding that goes
seal.
on your face.
yeah.
Yeah, the seal literally like has like it had some sort of chemical. Like it did not affect me at all. Like I could wear this for days, hours, you know, and I
And he
didn't get
has,
any like.
folks.
And my girlfriend got like a crazy rash.
It was probably
right
from
across
you,
the top.
man, because you put on some weird fucking copper hats on and you
Yeah, your
passed
Dude,
damn
that thing
fucking
saved
triangles that
the
you're trying to.
copper pyramid
that you're
saved my
trying to-
life. That's gonna be another
No, no, no,
save my
no.
life.
Your
man.
damn fucking triangles that
Western
you're trying
medicine,
to
but mostly
heal
the
staff
copper
with.
pyramid.
Okay, so I don't think this is it, but I'm looking at photos over here. Give me one sec. Let me swap over.
Yeah, because staff is healed with
So
copper
look at this,
triangles
right?
over your
So
head.
this is like cupping, that weird thing people do with.
I've done
cups
cupping
and
before, more
Why?
recently.
Anywho, this here, this is growth scars. This one, that's just
Yeah.
growth scars.
Yeah, those are
No, that's
The
a
one on
stretch
the
mark.
number four.
They're the
to
same thing. Growth scars, stretch marks, your stomach grows. But like this,
No,
the
my
grid
stomach
pattern,
has never had that. My pecs have that.
That's
your stomach
sad.
gets that.
it's
Pregnant
called
Uh,
a
not
growth
many.
scar because the flesh has to stretch because something
Yeah,
else has
or your
grown.
fucking muscles get bigger. You see?
Because your muscles grew, you dipshit. We're saying the same thing. You're just saying I'm wrong.
Yeah, they're not on my fucking stomach though.
Mine are on my fucking legs and back because I got tall quick. Shut up. Anywho, look, there's a
All right.
couple people who call it this, and it's like growth marks, and then there's all of this that's actually like the grid thing.
But okay, so what's weird is like
See,
Look at
that
that
the one
side
that
view.
that one looks like somebody leaned on a
A
it
net.
also
that's how it
doesn't
looked
really
looked
see
like,
like
though.
a groove. Yeah, you don't see any grooves either. Where like, you know how like,
Hey,
if
we
you've
could
been, like,
honestly
on a
probably get
surface-
fucking Chris in here.
Yeah, what's he doing right
Watching
now?
him.
See this? Okay, the reason
on
I
Xbox.
the original one, this is oddball.
Watching
The
a video.
original one, the reason I don't trust this looks like he fell on a grill or something.
Or that's the
Let me
back
tell
of
you
it.
something about
That
geologists.
was when he
all
was
right.
grabbing and burning.
Hey,
We drank a lot.
I don't know. My dad's
that
like
was
a
like-
very
gotten shit
profound
canned.
geologist.
Look at that. That's the top of it, dude.
But he's in petroleum. There's a difference.
Oh, is there?
There is, because there's the geologists who are like, I'm going to go look at this zircon and figure out if it's from 28 million years ago or 280 million years ago. And then there's
Okay.
I'm going to go find oil. It looks like, see how there's edges on the shirt? There's edge burns. And these look like contact burns on the
Well, so
edges.
if you fell on a grill, right, that like your whole shit would be melted into you.
This is 60s, so that might actually be genuine cotton on that wife beater.
That doesn't matter
what-
though. Still, if you
what
fucking if
I'm
you fell
seeing,
into it, it
it
still would
still
be.
But it
doesn't-
would
only for a
sparkle.
if you fell into it long enough for you to get the burn of like the surface. I don't know the history of like 1940s through 60s Canadian grills for camping, but I can see that being some sort of hot plate or
It's still-
grill
well,
or
he wasn't-
otherwise.
I can't.
Hey Austin,
What's up?
write your email in the chat and I'll send you the pictures that he sent me. So
You showed them to me before, I think.
This damn bear, it just looks so like weird and
so
like
funny
it's
that
like
out
you've
of
never
play.
seen a talking bear before. The bear necessity.
It's like you never read the Bernstein Bears.
the Bernstein. Bears.
Bernstein bears, you
Whatever.
motherfucker.
Who the fuck cares?
oh, that was the
Oh,
saddest
there's
episode
another
of-
one right there.
All right, Austin, I
Yeah.
sent it to you.
Good.
Word. Give me 1 sec. I'll
So-
pop that up.
So now we're gonna go basically back to what Michael was kind of hitting on before, is that Stefan was feeling ill after the encounter and made his way back to his motel at the Falcon Motor Hotel. As he made his way back, he was
Inside joke.
stopped by a Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer, G.A. Slotsky. The Mountie said he suspected Mikulek of being drunk, but didn't detect any alcohol in his breath. Of course, the officer was dismissive of the situation, and Mikulek tried to get medical attention nearby Falcon Lake, but the doctor wasn't available. So Stefan returned to Winnipeg by Greyhound, where he was checked into the what is that, Miscordia Medical Center. He was apparently so like delirious and delusional that I think he was like walking back or like trying to get back to his hotel, and he's just like, yeah, basically sick to his stomach, all sorts of stuff. And he takes he ends up taking the Greyhound back to his place where he can actually get some medical attention. What you see there, he had the burns on his torso as seen in the photos. And even though his symptoms seem to, oh my goodness. Yeah. Even though his symptoms seemed like radiation poisoning, the initial test after the event came up negative. It
So
did
there's the
guarantee we
picture
could get
from
fucking
our
Chris in here.
relevant person people know that I don't. There's one of them.
So that's it.
Yeah.
See, that's
There's a
interesting
second
too,
photo,
though.
but I think this one's closer, so I was going to use this one.
Nah, dude, that one's legit though. Look at that shit. Like,
It's like so evenly spaced, you know.
yeah, and then like even the one that it kind of fades out on the top and the bottom, you can kind of see where they sort of kept. Yeah, like why?
it's very
you'd think if
regular.
It was
it is. I agree.
But I see it as an issue given the original story where this pattern was described. One, like we can see, there's those edges on his shirt around where what he's saying, apologies, was a panel, like a panel that was firing fumes and gas as a ship flew away.
I would like to talk to that too. If you look at it, it's like,
And then on this, it's presumably under some sort of clothing. It happened. It's very regular. While this is at an angular pattern, while the original is at a cubed pattern. So if you look at it, it's square spacing. Well, this is triangular spacing. I feel like even if it were aliens, it would have to be completely separate from the origin of this concept, because like he's saying it was some sort of craft that caused this burn. What's his name?
Mikulek.
Mikulek? Yeah, Stefan.
Albert Otterman.
Shut up, Bear. This one is it's triangular, so this is one of the reasons I think it's got to be some sort of weird, subtle. It could even be really weird, like the skin's wacky. You ever gotten a spot and you can't explain what it is?
Not
Or
like
not
those.
usually.
No,
but-
not like this. I'm just saying, have you ever gotten a spot that you can't explain what it is? You're like, why do I have this? Why am I red here? Why is there
Actually,
a bump?
no.
That kind of stuff. It's not very common. It's hyper regular. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. Maybe there's a chemical used in manufacturing that causes it. Maybe it's a manner of manufacturing. You see how regular it is, how it's in a triangle pattern. Maybe there's a tighter
manner of
knot of
manufacturing.
so imagine a textile gets made, right? And at every point, the machine has to tie some degree of knot to make sure that it doesn't
on.
fall
Hang on,
apart.
shut the fuck up. I got Chris on the phone. Yeah, so Chris says he doesn't remember anything. He never fucking He's been
If you got Chris on the phone, you should put Chris on the phone.
he is on the fucking phone. Talk, Chris.
Hi.
Well, hello, Chris. It's
What
a
up,
pleasure to
brother?
meet you. Jesse, we're not connected to him. You're going to have to transfer our pleasant greetings.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Oh
say
no,
that.
he's not hopping on.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to transfer our pleasant greetings to him.
Oh, I think he can hear you.
Am I on the news?
I wish we were that official. No, but thanks for
No.
the praise.
Sounds
We are
like
glad to
it,
have
bro.
you on, though.
I wasn't ready
Can you
for it.
hear us, Chris?
I can hear you.
That's
Excellent.
wonderful. Okay, cool.
Well, that's step one. So, okay, could you kind of bring us through the entire experience? You wake up with these, like, how did that go? What were you like? What the fuck?
Pretty much. I got in the shower with my wife, and she noticed these markings on my back, and she was explaining them to me, and I didn't really understand what she was trying to explain until I got out of the shower, and then I looked in the mirror, and she started taking pictures of them, and that's when I got a better understanding of what she was trying to tell me.
Yeah, could you like I mean, obviously you probably like tried to feel back there. Was there any like like any type of
Bumps or anything like that?
yeah,
Yeah.
like anything
Was
out
the
of
skin
ordinary?
raised? Was there any sort of
Yeah.
irritation you could feel physically, or was it just a visual?
Nope, just a visual. There was no bumps or irritation. Wasn't hot to the touch or anything. It was just felt normal. It was just all visual.
And there was no
Uh,
new clothing, no new fabrics, nothing like that involved in the night prior.
Nope, nothing like that. I started like thinking, oh, maybe I slept on something or, but no, it was just same old mattress, same old sheets, nothing like that. So
You don't sleep on a purple mattress, do you?
no, but I wish I have.
Apologies,
Right, that's
Chris.
what I
It's
hear.
a pleasure to meet you. Name's Austin. I'm just asking dumb questions for the sake of it. Might as well rule it out,
Hey, Michael, say something, motherfucker.
What do you want me to say? I've already talked to him about it. So whatever Austin wants to ask.
Well, I'm just trying to get some sort of semblance of like what we can instantly rule out, and so far I've gotten most of my assumptions ruled out. So at this point,
if we've got you here, what did you have any initial thoughts? Were you like spooked out about aliens at all, or was that kind of like the last thing you were thinking about?
No, that's pretty much the last thing from my mind. Like I said, the only thing I kept
Good man.
trying to retract was if I had slept on anything like that would have caused those patterns on my back, or if I had like sat for like a prolonged period of time on something that would have caused it. But
It initially went away, but then possibly came back. Am I correct?
yeah, it lasted for a couple weeks, and then maybe like
Okay.
so that first time it happened in the fall, like the beginning of fall, and then that next summer, I was in Hawaii, and that's when my wife had noticed again in the shower that they had came back.
Was it in the same place?
Yeah, kind of. It was like
Okay.
in my
that's
back,
interesting.
like underneath my shoulder blades area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was there anything
That's what we're looking at now, actually.
spontaneously new in your world at that time? Did they have a new fancy pants ergonomical chair? Did you get a Henrik Miller or
Yeah,
something at work?
Did you happen to be stressed out at all? Any type of like weird autoimmune flare up?
And if it returned, did you feel it return, or was it just something that was noticed again?
You just said that it was
No,
his wife.
it was just something that was noticed again by my wife. Obviously, I
Okay.
can't see my back on a daily basis unless I'm.
I'd be very impressed if you could.
Fucking great.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was something that was noticed by my wife on both occasions. So
Okay. Damn, dude.
Hmm.
So, okay, that is super interesting. And then weird, another like anything that would be maybe not related to say this, but who's to say aliens didn't like visit you in the distant past and then it kind of just started showing up again?
I mean, that's a possibility, but like I said, I don't remember any like dreams or any like instances.
So as a
where,
small goblin ran into his room and poked him in a grid pattern, Pat. I don't know if that's a good.
That was me.
Austin, I would rule that out before anything.
See, and I'd also
stupid as
rule
shit.
out historical alien contact.
Well,
So
you have a fucking person that got this on here right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
How dare you
so
minimize his experience?
would you say? How would you explain it personally?
It's like I just fucking woke up with these bitches.
Yeah, I mean, visually, I mean, like I said, my skin felt normal. I mean, it wasn't raised bumps or anything like that. It was just all just like these red, like a grid of red, perfect, like circular dots, just placed perfect, like symmetrically.
And
So,
right below the shoulder, right?
yeah, like in the middle of my back.
Yeah.
So as it dissipated, did it go away just kind of like lightening skin, or did it go away like a bruise?
Oh,
That is
that's a good question.
Like it went away like pretty. It took a couple weeks, and like it would just gradually just.
At no
disappear.
point was there like skin yellowing or anything like you get when you smack your arm on something real good.
See, but it looks
Because
it's
Austin
so
smacks
red.
his arm real good on shit every night.
Dude, I'm a clumsy, tall motherfucker, man. I hit everything.
Hey, you're not.
But yeah.
You're like 6'2".
6'2.5". That's tall enough.
My brother is 6'5". He doesn't fucking whack his shit on everything.
I've never even met your brother. He doesn't go outside. He doesn't smack his shit on stuff.
Well, man, that is. I don't know. It's just so.
Hey, we
crazy.
got the source.
Yep, we did get the source.
I'm guessing you guys have seen the picture, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
we seen the
indeed.
picture
Yep,
from
it's up right
Michael,
now.
and Michael is very quiet right now. He is portraying himself as a little fucking bear, and it's really pissing me off.
Chris, correct?
You would like it.
Chris, you wouldn't like it. He looks like a goddamn fucking chipmunk.
You'd be bemused, but it's Chris, correct? Apologies. I've never met you, and right now we're doing like a two-way separation meeting. I'm on a microphone in Arvada through Jesse in Lakewood to you on the phone, but it's a pleasure. I appreciate you coming on here and discussing this with us.
Yes, we do, especially being so random.
Chris, you can
Hey.
open your Snapchat and you can see what Jesse's so upset about. I think it's cute.
Oh my god, Michael, shut the fuck up.
It's
I do-
cute as he does an O face and sticks his tongue out. That's
Yeah.
very appropriate.
Amazing what
Anywho,
technology's
Chris,
done
I
now.
do appreciate your input. So in the photo, it kind of looks like, I don't know, it looks like blood vessels breaking. There was no pain, no indication. You didn't know. You had to be told it happened, right?
Correct.
That's
Yeah, it was
wild.
never
No, man, how
itchy,
many-
It was never irritated.
Oh,
Never dry.
ways could we
nothing
beat this
like
dead
that.
horse?
Or like
Looks
you
like
know,
aliens.
I felt something.
yeah, this motherfucker had abducted.
It's to wrap it up, since there's a lot of different viewpoints coming together right now in our current situation. How did you end up handling it? What was your opinion personally when it happened? How did you explain it to yourself, to others? I guess just to your partner, most likely. But how did that work out for you? What did you determine it was, and how did you feel about it happening?
I mean, I was obviously a little concerned, especially since there's no, irritation in that area or nothing like that. It's something that I would have gone unnoticed if nobody else had, physically looked at my back. I hopped on the internet,
Oh god.
right away. Couldn't really find
Always a
anything.
mixed
I
bag.
do remember Googling, red circular dots on the back, and I did come across some Google images. I forget what the term is called, but it's out there. And it was right away I found, that it was related to possible, something related to alien abductions and whatnot. But I mean, I couldn't find a reliable source as far as like, it being the condition of a known condition.
So what I will say
Yeah.
after that, I would say when you get tested for allergies, that's kind of exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, when you get an allergy grid, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they poke you with a bunch of needles. What you're
And they
allergic
each
to,
have
or allergic with.
like saline solution with an allergen in them.
Yeah, and then whatever one pops up, that's what you're allergic to.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I've never had an allergy test, so I mean, we can.
Yeah, that seems.
See, that could be another thing, though. It could have been kind of what I'm saying with a machine interacting with some sort of textile, but he's vaguely, or whoever has this is vaguely allergic. I'm not saying that's it, but
wouldn't
that could
you
be
think,
something.
though, that
No,
he's
that's
still-
non-allergic.
Wow.
That's just where they poked him. It was allergic, would have popped up.
See, but that implies some sort of. I mean, it looks
So,
like
but then
blood
the
vessels
aliens would
breaking,
have
but
had
it's
to been
not
the
purple.
ones, yeah.
So
So
it's very interesting.
I have a question. Have you ever had any exposure to any type of chemical or like radiation that might have?
He is
You know,
from
been
fucking
dormant.
where the fuck are you from again?
Peru.
Peru.
Yeah,
They have pyramids
Well, I
there,
mean,
don't they?
yeah. Or do they?
Chris,
can't
shut the fuck up.
I can't
No,
remember.
feel free to laugh at Jesse like we do.
Oh, Chris has been laughing at me for over a week.
Wonderful. Good on you. I feel like Chris and I should meet. He sounds
Hey,
like
Chris,
a
me
good
and
guy.
you are good now. We're good.
I don't know how though. I don't know how Peru necessarily equates into the chemical thing.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they have like
Saying alien thing.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going down the road of alien.
Well, yeah, he's Peruvian.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the time, I was in the Navy, so who knows what they put into me at the time.
Oh.
So,
Nice.
Oh, you know exactly what they put into you.
We can incorporate so many of Pat's favorite. You know what? Maybe I'll stop.
Hey,
feels
Chris has
fine,
been
also.
a Peruvian Navy
Oh, he's in the Peruvian
person
Navy.
forever. For like 8 years at least.
at least.
Yeah.
Did you see any UFOs while in the Peruvian Navy?
No, he was in the American Navy. you
Oh, well
fuck.
then
Not
why would you
Peruvian Navy.
preface it with being in the Peruvian Navy?
He's in the
You're
US
killing me.
Navy, you fuck. Not
You didn't have
Peruvian.
any other medical issues come up during the time where you had this, right? It was just kind of like a benign thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nothing else. I mean, yeah. I mean, the
Okay.
last time I had those marks was 2018.
Yeah, he's a US citizen.
Yeah.
I'm not questioning his citizenship, sweet lord. I'm just asking about his skin lesion. Fuck off.
Hey, I'm just saying he's a US citizen.
Okay. We just want to make that clear for any
Yeah.
of those
For any
agents out there
non-believers.
watching.
So
Yeah,
I guess
'cause
the
Michael
most
isn't.
general.
Michael's Colombian.
Drink your Topo Chico. The most general question I can ask, was there anything in your life at the time that had been new? Did you try new food, anything like that? Just to like rule out some sort of allergen. I'm
If
not
you-
saying
if you
that's
ate
it,
Indian
but just to
food,
rule it out.
You ate
I
fucking
want you to
fat.
think real far back.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you
And
have a
remember
significant
every
memory
little
of the
detail.
first time you tried something, if it was then.
See,
Yeah.
Austin is like the most like person that will like try to just proclaim anything that you have done, but this happened to you. And
That's
he's like,
Yeah,
did
I'm
you
trying
eat
to
Nobody
today?
can
work
take
out
that away.
why.
Did you eat
I-
some bad Chinese food one day?
We're starting out before we do our full medical diagnostic. Okay.
I feel bad
Your
because
medic-
I'm hanging him on the line here.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and talking about this, especially since we grilled you over over the phone. But yeah, thanks, man.
Genuinely, thank you so much for coming on. I did very much
I don't
appreciate
have
your
much,
input.
But I mean, if it happens again, I'll let you guys know right away.
Hell yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
feel
actually-
obligated, but we very much
But,
appreciate it.
We would be interested.
For sure.
See, first person.
Once again,
hey.
much appreciate your participation, Chris. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for responding to whatever the hell Jesse said.
Oh no, I just called him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
God, now I feel terrible. I'm so sorry you got dragged into this after
Yeah,
Jesse was like,
it-
"What's up, Chris?
yeah,
Hey,
dude,
we're
dude.
talking about your back lesions."
That's kind of
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, no problem.
Hey, but thank you, and we won't get each
Hit
other.
Jesse
banned
up.
again,
And hang out with Jesse, and then make Jesse hit me up, and we'll hang out, and I'll
Thank
meet
you,
you and
Chris.
thank you
Have
and
a good night, buddy.
apologize.
Later. You too.
right?
Bye.
Bye. All right, he's off the line.
Oh my lord.
actually, that was a very, very impromptu. Good job, Jesse.
That was
I
wonderful.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
You
he
couldn't
owed me
figure out your
something.
background, but you called our main source. Very good.
Yeah, he owed me some shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is
Hang
that?
out with him and then drag my ass along, all right? I need to
He got
meet
me
and
banned on
apologize to
Xbox.
this guy. That's fine. Who
Got
cares?
You banned on Xbox?
Yeah,
I
got
feel like
you
you
banned.
could do that yourself
You
if
got
left
you
alone.
banned on Xbox.
No,
and you were
he
just with him.
banned me. I was like, "You want to play Bofa?" He's like, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, and he reported that message, and I
That's
got
pretty
banned
good, though.
for
That's
5
pretty
fucking
funny,
days.
though.
Dude, I got his ass. You want
Anywho, red dots. We just had Chris on.
Yep.
None of my
Mhm.
assumptions apply to his
Yep.
situation,
Come on.
as well as
Come on.
none of the situations that applied to the original red dot occurrence apply to Chris's situation. So what are we currently thinking happened to Chris? Stop
That's a good
flexing,
fucking-
you dipshit, and tell me
That's a
what
good-
happened to Chris.
That's honestly a good question, though, dude. I have no fucking clue. Like, it seems like there's nothing going on in his life that's like seems to be affecting him.
Is there anything
medically.
biological that has that regular a distribution? Maybe,
Michael.
okay, I'm talking out my ass right now, but maybe there's some degree of like dermal flesh where an allergen reaction will only occur in so much, and then the chemical related to that allergen reaction is exhausted for an area. So
Yeah,
maybe he
it's-
was allergic to something and it occurred in X space because of that allergen reaction, and then it ran out of chemical to keep it going. I don't think that's right, but I mean, I'm kind of at a loss after he said there was nothing new going on in his life, you know?
And it just like happened multiple times, and it's been basically in the exact same.
It happened twice within a closed period, which does make me think it was something he was interacting with at that time.
Michael, do you have Battlefield 1?
But I don't know what.
It would make more sense just because I'm thinking like, even okay, as far as like nothing that we've seen in the that I've looked up has explained it medically as far
Yeah,
as that
like-
goes, and there's no irritation. Now it
Again.
also is weird though, because the Falcon Lake incident, of which that I kind of think really spurred the what the fuck is that all about?
That was about like general chemical things. Sorry.
What was that female? What was
yeah,
you?
that was
Disgusting
I was
pervert.
wondering.
Red spots, skin treatment.
That
Who's
was
that
what,
bitch?
dude. It was so funny. It just popped up her and like without any like, yeah. I was like, whoa.
I guess
Yes,
Austin's gonna
okay,
get
like
off pretty
on the
soon.
original shirt he was talking about, right? It had this section here with the
Wait, is this
like
one of
edges.
one of y'all's friends?
What?
No, this is the original incident of Red Dot,
Yes.
where it had the edges of the grid too, you know?
Oh, I sent Patrick a good TikTok.
A good TikTok.
The way that was presented.
Please tell me about your good TikTok.
Austin, do you have TikTok?
No, fuck no. I don't
Dude,
have
China's
TikTok.
got your number, dude.
Why would I have TikTok? I have a life, Jesse.
So do I.
Like, how are you, bro?
Me, I'm over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Michael, you've been so quiet tonight.
Because you guys are just going nuts.
Like, have you only been paying attention for the last 7 minutes? Like,
Well, I already
Okay.
knew Chris's thing, and I feel like I get what you're saying with it being some sort of reaction. And I'm not saying it's not. It seems like the most plausible, but I don't know. It just seems like if you were to say the argument was that okay, these clothes that are being manufactured have some sort of allergen just based on their process, I feel like you would see the red dot phenomenon way more. And I'm taking into consideration that it's possible that
You can't take you
nobody
serious as a
like nobody
goddamn fucking
notices.
bear.
I'm the factual bear.
Yep. I for some reason I'm taking this way better than
Keep
anybody
talking,
else. I'm like, this is
factual
good.
reality, bear.
And I just feel like if it were right, it would appear way more often, which it's also possible that people are just not noticing because there is no rash, there is no lesion or bumping or anything like that.
And
So, I
if
mean, it is
nobody-
possible, but in the history that I've known him, I didn't know him to be like sensitive or like have allergies to any kind of thing. So it's
And
unusual
he's
for
known
sure,
him
I would
since he's a
say.
little fucking kid.
Yeah, it's unusual
But-
for sure, but not impossible. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. The thing that gets me is it only occurred for about a 2-month span, and it occurred multiple times in the 2-month span at differing degrees, right? That's what he was saying.
Right.
That it was like less serious the second time, but it
Yeah,
happened
it's
in a
fucking
similar
brown, man.
location.
And my first thought was like, oh, he sat in a chair or it was something weird, like he just didn't take into
yeah,
account.
that
and-
pattern thing.
Because it is so perfect. The pattern is so perfect, which is
Where was
also-
he working again at this time?
I don't remember at that time because he
Oh,
was living in an
aerospace.
old apartment as well. So
Like I get
No, he wasn't in his old
lines
apartment. He was
on
in
my
fucking-
back
He was in
from
Belmar.
work
he was
currently.
in Belmar, but it was the old apartment in Belmar. It wasn't the
No,
new.
it was the big fucking place. 'Cause
No, it
I went
wasn't
to the
there.
big place. Yes,
No, dude.
because yes,
I'm
that happened
telling
after I went there.
No, dude, that picture that he took is from his old bathroom. It's not his current
Pat,
one.
I'm looking to you on my screen. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Well, basically, they're talking about who knew which house he was in when. This
Yeah,
happened.
he was in a different. It was, and it's possible.
I don't know. It's beyond me.
He was in these apartments that were like kind of shady. So my first thought was like, oh, he got a rash from something, right?
But see, it's just like you would think that there would be other symptoms.
But yeah, if it's from an alien life form, they do that strategically.
Yeah,
But
and,
why?
I mean,
Okay. So if it were an alien life form, why is it only the lower portion of his back
Because
is
maybe
getting
that's
it?
where his DNA is the best.
I think the theory
Only
is,
along that one strip of his spine on the
I wanna
back,
hear this
Possibly,
plus a
theory.
little bit of the
maybe it has the
scapula on
best
either
stem
side.
cells that we don't know about.
I think the theory is that if you're saying it's from an alien life form, is that they laid him out on an operating table that left that pattern on his back, or that they did some sort of allergen test ish, or like some sort of testing on that specific area that left that kind of mark.
Yeah, maybe he's like the brown guy that has like great DNA.
I mean, there is some weird stuff when they talk about like
That seemed oddly
Germans and-
rude.
That wasn't rude. That's just the
There's-
truth.
I've heard theories on like especially when you're like, hey, Peruvian, like
Yeah.
the Atacama Desert and all that stuff.
hmm And they have pyramids there, don't they? In Peru.
Probably, I don't know.
I'm
I
pretty
just
damn sure
know
they do.
They might. yeah,
Machu
but
Picchu is the only
Machu
one.
Picchu is the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like a big, Andean structure.
Andean. That's wrong.
Andean. It's in
That's
the
wrong.
Andes. What are you
That's
talking-
not wrong.
you-
That's not how you say it.
How do you say it then?
Andean is not correct.
What is correct? then?
For the people
You
from
Just saw the wheels in your brain start up. Oh my god.
yeah, you don't want them to start up.
I think the one thing that really bothers me about this is that like I don't know, right? Like I wish I could be like I wish I could pinpoint it exactly because that's the upsetting part, right? It's just like I wish I could be like, oh, it is from this new shirt you got, or it's from the way you sat in this chair. But the fact that I can't confirm nor deny these are the things, that's the thing that kind of bugs me a little bit because like I know him, so I know all the stuff that he's been telling me. There's no reason for him to exaggerate or lie or anything like that, or like try to fool me essentially into thinking that it's something that it's not.
I mean, and he wasn't when he was on here. He wasn't like
Yeah.
it's aliens, boys. It was
Nope.
I got abducted. He didn't Alex Jones it. He was just like, I don't know.
Right.
It's amazing. Austin met his first
True believer.
paranormal, paranormal guy.
Paranormal
And he was kind of like me, where it's like, well, I can't explain it, but I'm not convinced it's aliens. So I was
Well,
like,
exactly.
that's
But still,
a man
I mean-
after my own kilt.
But I mean, at that point, it's just, what are we looking at here? Because I'm on the camp where it's hard to, like, I came in here obviously being like, I think that the Falcon Lake incident, in my opinion, that seems extraterrestrial or like, paranormal in some spooky aspect, is what really triggered this whole phenomenon, but there's obviously like actual like medical evidence on, right now, like, a firsthand experience that we just heard from, but like also countless others that are out there. But I cannot, what if it's just like such a weird, skin rash that just happens and we don't have, like a random autoimmune thing that just pops up and it just happens to be so symmetrical. The thing that would make me more skeptic, or not skeptical, but more of a believer, is if he was like, something in my past, or like that.
What if it wasn't his
necessarily-
past? What if it was his parents' past?
then we'd have to really go investigate, so, but let's
Okay.
finish it off here with this. We were talking about the Falcon Lake incident. And so, this guy, he actually got burned by something. Now I was kind of looking at that shirt that he had and it was kind of like all burnt up. But when you look at the picture, it looks like it's on his, almost like his stomach and upper torso.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to necessarily fit the picture, and none of the pictures that are there really show these like raised up. Like look at the burns on the so, like,
Stomach?
yeah, right on his like stomach and like where his chest would be kind
Well,
of.
that could have been on like a
Below.
fucking caterpillar. I'm not even kidding you.
Fucking humongous caterpillar.
Like those are pretty
not a
hardy
cat- a
compared to
fucking
those on
bulldozer.
Chris. Those are
Yeah,
chunky.
bulldozer.
those
Those
are
are like that big, you know?
Yep, they're about the size of a penny, right? Regardless, so this incident is definitely something different than I feel like what Chris is, even if it is related somehow to extraterrestrials or whatever. But
Yeah, see, that's more like Chris's right there. Is that
You know,
Chris?
That is.
I mean, it is
Yep.
Chris's, yeah.
Yeah, see
I'm
that.
cutting
like-
between them so you can see the difference between the two. Like I said,
No,
the original
yeah.
one is square pattern. This is a
So
triangular.
it looks like one
division.
of those laundry baskets,
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like it literally looks like he like rubbed up against some sort of surface, but then you still don't see
Well, like
any,
you wouldn't
like,
rub up against it. You'd
indentation either.
you'd have to like sit there for like, I don't know, a good minute.
It's like I don't know enough about the skin to know. Is there any sort of like dermal thing? Like there are tons. There's like cytocysts or what are they? What are they called? One moment, please hold. Let me see if I-
Psoriasis, motherfucker.
No, it's like a.
God damn, how
There's
many cameras do you
aspects.
have?
I have. It's called OBS. It's great. Get it?
Oh yeah, I will, since I have a PC.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So dismissive. You're not even facing the fucking mic.
I'm looking stuff up.
What are you, a
That's-
streamer?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
'cause-
working
my
on
God.
it.
Awesome.
Are you?
Also, yeah, genuinely. Also, I finished this whole
Send me your
bottle
shit.
since we
Send me
started
your
this show.
shit.
I haven't I just got everything worked out this like today during the day, so I'm gonna
I don't
start
care,
the
send
next
me your
week.
shit.
I
Like a
will.
Streaming on
fucking
YouTube
rodeo
or
in
what?
here. Going back, okay, so the guy, he got ill from this situation. He went out there and he was, he saw these things. So
Did Chris say he got ill?
No, he
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 didn't.
said he
He
was
is.
just fine, right?
yeah, exactly. That's why it's so hard to like. These are totally not connected.
That's why he
I
picked
feel,
him.
but-
That's why they picked him. He was a perfect
Specimen.
Yeah, he could handle his
Specimen, yeah.
radiation.
He's perfect. He's resilient. They're
You know,
tapping their 3 super long fingers together.
If they are using like DNA of people and like he's one of those things, well,
He could
keep
be.
him close, man. He might be able to get you off world when that nuclear war goes off.
And that's another episode of Skeptical Eyes for Grid Patterns.
And we have this stupid fucking chipmunk that keeps talking.
Bear.
You
So-
look like a goddamn chipmunk.
Okay, here, I'm just gonna finish out this story about the Falcon Lake incident, and then we can just
Do it.
lather on.
Finish us off. I'll make sure Ronnie Zamora's written up for like when do you want to do this next month, week, whatever.
It's a good question.
Yeah, Pat was
I've got the
like, "This is
information.
last
I could
one."
bullshit my way through it now, but I'll have to like write it up if we want it proper.
This is
Okay,
me
he's called-
smiling.
It's very cute.
Thanks. I
Put
like
your
it.
background back on, Jesse. You'll understand. The teddy bear disappeared, as you can see.
Stefan Makalek, his entire family kind of like recalled having such like negative press from it. So I don't think that he was like lying about this, especially when he had all those symptoms and they actually tested him in the press. And then he was sticking to his story. Makalek said he never claimed that the craft he saw was anything alien, though. Although he referred to what he saw as a UFO, he died still believing
think
it was
mine's
an
updated.
experimental aircraft.
I'm willing to say that something happened to him because that shirt that's burnt, something burned that shirt. It doesn't. My initial guess was he fell on a grill or something, but there's no struggle marks. Like, give me a second.
Well, also, I think it was like a day trip because he was like staying in a motel. So why would he be grilling out there if he's just like prospecting rocks in a day trip too?
The fact that there was a rigid edge, like you could see that
Yeah.
edge of his shirt too, you know?
Yeah.
It's going down.
That-
My shit's fucking downloaded.
We're still finishing the podcast, Jesse. Calm yourself.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I'm excited.
the fact that there is like he had
Back
that
at
edge on
bite.
his shirt, it was all square and it had smaller amounts of holes, which this is going to be going back, but if you're having an exhaust, right? Say you've got a port that's circular and then you've got a square grate over it,
It looked like
like a rectangular grate.
It looked like he like wrapped his like self around a machine gun from like World War II.
That is an interesting opinion.
Yeah.
Or so say you had like an
That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
extended, you know, like an egg-like shape,
Yeah.
and then you've got a grate over it. You're going to have a square that's all the same. And then as that grate tapers out, as whatever exhaust tapers out, you're going to have less circles. On that image of him, he has like these 3 mild ones at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
How do we explain Chris though?
Which
That's what I'm
don't-
saying.
That's the thing. It's two
Chris,
separate
I don't think
instances.
we can explain, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think aliens is the primary go-to.
At least for Chris.
By the way,
At
your
least
beard
for
looks great,
Chris.
Austin.
His looks
Yeah.
like it could genuinely be the grate of some sort of exhaust from a craft. There's a
Yeah.
like on his chest, right? There's
Yeah,
a
yep.
non-shaking edge to his burn mark. It doesn't look like he fell on something and freaked out. It's solid, it's shaped, and then it has that very distinct cubical pattern. Now, with Chris, it's a triangular pattern, not square.
Yeah. It does have a
Two,
different.
there's no edging.
No,
So
there's-
I don't
there is.
think
At the top, do you see there's like
is
it-
there here
Yeah,
one
like
moment.
on
Let
the
me
side,
let me
they kinda
pop
like-
up that photo again real
Michael,
quick.
is your battlefield updated?
Oh my lord.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Pull that.
Is
back
there?
Like,
Can you
yeah,
is
do you
there an
see-
edging in there?
I mean, like it looks like, I mean, in a weird pattern there is. Okay, you look at the two.
But but like look at that. And then here,
look
let
at
me
the
find
ones
his
at the
shirt
bottom.
again real
Yeah,
quick.
it looks like there's a vague like vignette kind of. But regardless, back to the Falcon Lake.
Like
thing.
there's a distinct edging on the Falcon Lake
Yeah, yeah.
shirt where it is. On this, at the best,
But
it's
you
a
could-
vague edging. But see
Yeah,
those
but you could
top
still
3
say-
who are beyond the edging? Like
Well,
it doesn't seem like
it's
it's a
edged in a weird-
solid
Yeah, it's
pattern.
edged in a weird pattern because
Right.
you look at the ones down at the bottom right. But okay, but here's some other interesting things about the Falcon Lake incident because it was one of the most documented UFO case in Canadian history, I guess. So, you know, multiple agencies were involved in this case. The Department of oh my God, National Defense, Department of Health, along with the Royal Canadian Air Force in conjunction with the U.S. Air Force. And
So like
Aerial
look at
Phenomenon
that. See how there's a
Research Organization.
distinct edge on that shirt?
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Like
See,
it's
that's-
evenly spaced-ish. So I could see that being from an object. I'm not concrete on the Falcon Lake incident not being related to some sort of advanced technology, possibly even alien. With Chris, though, I feel like it's not practical to say that it's
No, I wouldn't,
Alien.
I wouldn't say it's alien either. If
'Cause,
there was
like,
more,
I'll pop between the two. Like, look
know,
at that.
if there was more experience, I'd say something. But okay, so, but the Falcon Lake incident,
What do you
Royal
think it
Canadian
is
Air
then?
Force,
Pat?
What do I think?
What do you think? What do you think Quiksneak is?
dude, that's the thing, man. I think that it's got to be some sort of like weird, not autoimmune, but some sort of skin condition that just kind of flares up every once in a while, and obviously has no. It's so weird that it's in such a weird pattern, but
Hmm.
no,
I
the more
agree
look
with
at
Pat.
the
It
more I-
feels like a skin. So you
So
see
Pat's a
how,
skeptical guy.
a little,
which is
I
a
mean,
rarity, but it
Yeah.
happens.
for
So like,
this
look
one,
at
maybe,
the
yeah,
dot,
not like
third row up,
you're talking about the one that kind of goes into
that's
that like
faded
weird.
out, and you
Yeah.
see how that's kind of in the center of his back where it dips out.
That's not the center of his back. That's his shoulder blade.
Okay, here, one moment. Let me see if I can find
Well,
that
okay.
second photo Michael
I think that
sent me.
the bottom line is there that we think that both of us think that it's more of a skin thing, unrelated necessarily to anything alien. I mean,
Yeah,
the problem
compared
too, though,
to the Falcon Lake one, that one
Yeah.
definitely looks like something. Like
again,
that is
I'm still such a believer that I think that it could be. What if they just like put him to sleep and he has no memory of it, and there's no, like no reason for him to know because they're so good at abducting. Because that's still bouncing around in my head. So I mean,
but
I
like
can't rule
what
that
are
out.
you getting out of, so this portion in the center makes sense. What are you getting out of the scapula?
I don't. That dude. That's like.
The
Why did the
spine,
aliens
I
do
get it.
anything?
What are you getting out of the scapula though?
I mean, maybe
Michael, are you still there? Teddy bear, come back.
No, he's gone.
The teddy bear's gone. He muted himself.
Yeah, he did.
Might be
You
on a call.
honey motherfucker.
Well, we should here, but okay.
Oh, Pat just muted himself. What's up? I can't hear you right now, Pat. I'm
that
so
was
sorry.
fucking this guy.
Oh,
This
okay.
motherfucker. Okay, so basically, the findings that were made at the location of the event holds some interesting evidence to the story, as the circular burn marks are radioactive soil samples. So they actually found radioactive soil samples, and I said there was all those like Canadian and U.S. like joint operations going on to investigate it. The investigators also found irradiated clothing that Mekalek had actually removed before fleeing. I think that was
Yonder.
his gloves. Well, no, that I think might have still been on him.
The gloves? Do we have pictures of the gloves? I haven't seen pictures of the gloves. Let me check here.
think there was an article that might have had him, but yeah, I don't. Some people think that there might have been
You
like
keep talking. I'm gonna look for gloves.
there was like apparently metal burnt into a rock that was there that was like irradiated metal on the rock that it supposedly had landed on, but people say that it could be a plant, somebody planted a metal after the fact, because I think it was found later. But yeah, that's basically the Falcon Lake
I
incident.
found his gloves. It looks like it has blood on the end.
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
So
you've
it
seen
was hot enough to like slightly liquidize it, but not enough to fully like melt it. It just made it like that smooth surface you get,
Yeah, when you super burn it. Yeah, I know
That
what you're
hat
talking
or
about.
whatever the hell isn't looks like it's drenched in blood.
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, these are also like it could have been like muddy where he was too and wet. I don't
That
know
doesn't
what
look
that
like
is.
mud,
So,
buddy. That's
I think
blood.
at the end of the
That,
day,
like, but
I'd
wet.
say that I don't know about the Falcon Lake incident, but with Chris, I feel like there has to be an easier explanation, mostly because nothing physical occurred. Like he didn't feel weird after. It's not like there was some sort of futuristic anesthetic applied. He
There
didn't.
could have been. It could have been so advanced that he didn't even remember like shit. Like it's like nothing happened.
I don't believe that just based on how chemistry works. But I guess technically, did you get fucking pizza? What the fuck's going on your
Yeah,
end?
dude, he's been.
Michael
Yeah.
disappeared and you're over here eating.
Well, that's because I think that we've kind of come to the bottom of it, because we're okay. Let's I don't know if he's
Oh,
there. Okay,
the
we can
teddy
do the
bear's
sign
back.
off. We can do the sign off.
Where you been,
We
motherfucker?
should get all the opinions out.
All
Hit
right.
me with it.
We'll start with Pizza Man. We'll go to Bear. I'll do it. And then Pat, you end it because you're the host. Pizza Man, go.
Well, this pizza's a little cold, but from further investigation, I don't discount there wasn't an abduction.
On
I
Chris's
think
end.
possibly Quiksneak or Chris, as we know him, Probably maybe got abducted and like their like technology's so good he didn't even remember it, right? That's what
Good
you would want if you
possibility.
abducted somebody.
All right, Teddy Bear, what's your opinion?
My opinion is I don't know if anything did happen. I don't know if it was a result of something that was explainable or whatever, but I don't know. What bothers me more is not knowing what it was. Like,
Yeah, that I have to agree, dude. Like, cause I can't say that I'm totally skeptical, but I also am like, yeah, what if it just like they're so good now that they don't fuck up?
I would even be happy, like, I would be happy if he was like, oh, and I had really weird dreams that night, or
Yeah,
something that led
that
in
would
in
make
a
it more.
creepy way, even if it seemed unbelievable. I would be happy with that. But the fact that it's like such a mystery bothers me.
And that's the same thing with a lot of other people. It's like it's the same deal that just like happens up and then it disappears or it comes back and it doesn't hurt and no.
Hold
Nothing.
yourself, fellow. Your turn is coming.
Yeah, you're right.
So I feel like the Falcon Lake incident, I can't say anything definitive. I don't know. I can't say anything definitive, and I'm not confident saying anything definitive. The fact that it's on his shirt and his body makes me think something happened. I don't know what. If I can find a Canadian grill from the 1950s to 60s that has that exact pattern,
It's called
I'm
Google.
going with that.
Just
I
the
tried.
grill is
It's not
such a
happening.
funny-
But if that doesn't happen, I don't know. However, with Chris, I think something related to how we as modern people live caused that allergic reaction. I'm not sure what portions of the skin are having that reaction. I'm not sure why it's so patterned,
There's no way that's an allergic reaction.
but it ain't your
In
turn.
that
Tom.
uniform position, there's no fucking way.
I'm not sure what or why, but I can't confidently say it's aliens or anything. Like he didn't mention anything.
Interdimensional beings.
He didn't say that his partner noticed anything other than later on in the day when she saw his back. So I can't assume there is anything extraneous to the situation. I think it's very plain what happened, but whatever it is beyond what I know. So I'd say the Falcon Lake incident, maybe that is aliens. The general phenomena, I think that's got to be some sort of commonplace allergic reaction we don't understand yet.
I'm gonna say you're wrong.
Thank
Well-
you, sir. Mr. Couldn't figure out my background. Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, dude, that's the one thing. So the Falcon Lake incident. So this all started because I was trying to connect what I thought the grid or like why people got all into the red dot pattern and grid pattern. But honestly, with the Falcon Lake, I'm honestly leaning towards like it was human type of craft that actually like was experimental because that sounds like super weird. That's just a
Like I
weird
was
thing.
saying with the great thing, that regularity where it shrinks off as the, shape of the actual exhaust tapers, so does the pattern on which the exhaust comes out of. So that makes sense to me.
That's just
This is-
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't really know if it's alien or not. It sounds alien for sure, especially for the time and like what ended up happening with him being irradiated. But I'm also like, that sounds more, there's a lot of more examples of like people seeing UFOs and not becoming irradiated, where I think like if it was like a human made
Th-
thing that they'd fuck up and it would end up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking
This is
shit
just
up around
super
it.
weird that me and Michael agree on something, and then you and fucking
Yeah, it is a strange
Austin
one, isn't
agree
it?
on something.
A high five, buddy. You're finally on my team.
It's
Clap.
fucking bad.
It's funny because you guys are 1 and 2 above, like this
Yeah.
on my screen.
Dude, as for Quiksneak, exactly what
He seems like a
what
cool
Michael
dude.
said, it's almost so much worse that there is no other defining factors to that. Because now for me, it could be either. And I want to believe aliens, but I'm also like, it's so benign.
I'm not willing to believe aliens because I don't think there's any degree of technology where you wouldn't acknowledge some point of being fully abducted and returned.
Dude, have you ever been
There-
in anesthesia? Just imagine like space.
Yes, I
anesthesia.
have, and I freaked out until I woke up. And
Let
was
me be like
okay,
Joe
it's
Rogan.
cool.
Have you ever done DMT?
Have you
We
ever
all
done
have to do a
space
DMT retreat.
anesthesia?
That's what it is, man. That's DMT.
I mean,
Until
if
we
you
all-
really focus, you can focus out a DMT. It's not fun, but you're like, this
All right, how about-
me?
For good old time's sake, play us out, Michael.
And that was another episode of Austin thinks grills attacked people.
Thank you for
And we'll close.
episode of Skeptical Eye for the Paranormal Guys. I'm Austin. That's Pat. That's Jesse. And the bear is Michael. We've been here to present one more random experience someone had. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'd love to have you join us for the next episode. Have a good night, everyone.
Hail Satan.